Get it, SNPs merger of British Transport Police and the National Force has been delayed indefinitely, ministers today confirmed. They had agreed to review the timetable for Police Scotland's takeover while a string of concerns are addressed. The decision comes after Police Scotland's Deputy Chief Constable told MSPs there were significant issues with the integration of the two forces' IT systems. He also conceded there were ongoing problems with officers' terms and conditions and pensions. Today, Mr Livingstone, who is tipped to succeed Phil Gormley as head of the National Force, said unresolved issues meant the merger could not go ahead by April 2019 without compromising public safety. Opposition MSPs called for the shake-up to be scrapped altogether, branding it a foolish and misguided move. Ruth Davidson said the British Transport Police is a specialist force that shouldn't be disrupted. The British Transport Police is a specialist force that operates UK-wide and shouldn't be disrupted. Ruth Davidson. Scottish Tory leader Ruth Davidson said the SNP have been insisting for months that the police merger was on track, despite all evidence to the contrary. Now we find even Nicola Sturgeon recognises this unnecessary and ideological move is doomed. The British Transport Police is a specialist force that operates UK-wide and shouldn't be disrupted. Scottish Lib Dem Justice spokesman Liam MacArthur said we warned SNP ministers not to repeat the mistakes they made in pushing through the Police Scotland centralisation. They rejected constructive calls for implementation of the BTP merger to be delayed, giving the impression the timetable was generous or even a luxury. Now they have been found out. Daniel Johnson, for Scottish Labour, described the delay as a welcome out-in at the 11th hour and said it reopens a debate about whether this foolish and misguided merger should go ahead at all. The SNP forced the integration through Holyrood last year with support from the Greens despite warnings it would lead to an exodus of specialist staff, undermine cross-border crime fighting and leave train stations open to terror attacks. The Scottish Government said a new merger date was still to be confirmed but rejected suggestions this signalled a delay of up to 2 years. In a letter to Holyrood Justice Committee, Transport Minister Humza Yousaf said senior officers from both forces had advised a string of problems had yet to be resolved. Mr Livingstone said there were significant issues with the integration of the two IT systems. He read their assessment is that the current scheduled merger date of the 1st of April 2019 will not be achieved. Ministers have accepted this advice. Both Mr Yousaf and the Justice Secretary Michael Matheson described the delay as disappointing but insisted that the government was still committed to the plans. Mr Matheson said a detailed replanning exercise will now take place over the coming months to ensure robust delivery plans are in place for all of the key elements of the program and to establish a new delivery date. While a later integration date is disappointing, it will provide all partners with the opportunity to enhance the process of engagement, in particular with officers, staff and their representatives on key issues. It comes after the Joint Programme Board appointed to overseeing the merger said a longer timetable was needed. Nicola Sturgeon met Phil Gormley at the Multi-Agency Coordinator Centre in Glasgow in May. This, the board said, would allow more time for engagement with officers, staff and the representatives on issues including pay and conditions. Concerns over IT are also thought to form part of the setback. Mr Livingstone said it had become clear over the past few months that integrating the two forces could not be done on time without compromising public safety. He added planning for the integration continues and we will be working closely with BTP, the rail industry and other partners over the coming months to determine a new date. British Transport Police spokeswoman said it remained committed to ensuring any proposed merger goes ahead as smoothly as possible, both for our own staff and for rail passengers in Scotland. The British Transport Police Federation welcomed the entirely sensible decision. Chairman Nigel Goodband said we now hope to see a realistic timeframe being set, which allows for better planning, greater analysis of the costs of integration, and deeper understanding of the risks. The process to date has caused unnecessary worry and concern, so we welcome the commitment to improving staff engagement and will continue to support this in any way we can. Last year a report by him, Inspectorate of Constabulary in Scotland, warned that no authoritative business case had been made for the merger.